Titanium.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You shouted out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying word. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. You shoot me down, but I get up. Nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet, you take your aim. Fire away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium.
Welcome to Gotha Music Schools. So today we're going to look at a really cool piece from the Rockschool Grade 1 Acoustic syllabus, which is Titanium. This is a pop song and a great example of what a guitar can do in that genre of music. These are the important things that you need to think about in this song. So we need to be really accurate. Our right hand doing the picking, or left hand if you're left-handed, but anyway, the picking hand has to be accurate, has to hit the right strings. The other hand has to be really accurate. You have to hit those chords on time, and we can't have any string buzz because you'll hear it straight away in this piece. Your rhythm has to be accurate, so your timing is really important all the way through the piece. And another really important thing is your dynamics. Now, your dynamics are how gently or how loud you're playing. So if you're hitting the strings softly or if you're hitting the strings hard. Throughout the piece there's a gradual increase in our dynamics and the volume on the guitar. So let's go through each of the sections piece by piece and talk about what you need to know. Right, so we need to look at the chords. Now in the back of your book on page 37 are all the chords you're going to need for all the songs. You should be working on these alongside your pieces anyway, so you should be quite comfortable with those chords. However, there's one little tricky chord in this song which is not in the back of your book, and that is an F chord. If you need any help with the chords whatsoever, then check out the other video. I will have a link in this lesson for that. Okay, but we do need just to check over that F chord. Now the F chord comes up on the 4th bar of the introduction, the first line of the piece. We've just played the A minor and then we play the F. It's not marked as an F, it's the 4th bar, and what we're doing is we're playing the 1st fret on the 1st string and the 2nd string, and then the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Now I play it like this. So I use my 1st finger as a little mini bar. So when we cover more than one string we call it a bar. So I use my 1st finger to bar these 2 strings, 1 and 2, and I use my 2nd finger for that 3rd string. So try playing it like that, because what that means is after the A minor we just have to squish this 1st finger down. And that's quite an easy transition. The other way of doing it you might want to try is keeping the 1st finger there after the A minor on that 2nd string, putting your 2nd finger down there on the 1st string on the 1st fret, and then using a 3rd finger to come up here for that A note on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. That will give you exactly the same result, so just experiment between those 2 different ways and see which you prefer. So that's the F chord, which we need to know for this song. Now later on there is an F major 7. And an F major 7 is played like this. An open string on the first string, second string is the first fret, third string is the second fret, and the fourth string is the third fret. And it sounds like this, which is a lovely sounding chord. Now if you notice, the shape is almost exactly the same as the C shape. So if I just lift up these two fingers, one string, that's a C chord, isn't it? So if you know your C chord well, the F major 7 is quite an easy one to get your fingers on because it's very, very similar. We're just down one string on these two fingers. Okay, so let's start looking at the song itself. Now, we start with a C chord, we then have a G, an A minor, and then that F that I showed you earlier. Now when we're picking these, we're only actually picking the first three strings, so the bottom three here. So what that means is, as you might have noticed when I was playing on the video, I wasn't even using the full chord shapes because, let's face it, if we don't have to, it's much easier just to use part of the chord shape or partial chords. These are basically triads. If you're not sure what a triad is, look it up because they're really, really important and very interesting. They're the most basic form of a chord, a 3-note chord basically. Now, let's have a look at what we're going to play. For the C, we just need this basic pattern here, this shape, and we're going to play the bottom three strings. Then we're going to go to the G, and then A minor. I'm just going to play that with two fingers. And then this is where the F comes in. I'm going to squish that down there. And that's the top line done. Okay, so let's just look at that first one again and think about the rhythm. So we're going to play on the 1, then we're going to play on the 2, and the and of the 2. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and we're just going to let the strings ring until we have to change chord in the next bar. So again, the C is going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the G 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the A minor 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the F 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's like that all the way through for the first two lines, basically the first 8 bars. If you actually look at the second line starting on bar 5, you'll notice that it's the same repeated pattern, C, G, A minor, but haha, this is where the change comes in, isn't it? Instead of playing the F at the end, we're playing this lovely little melody. First fret on the first string, and then finger off to play it open, and then third fret on the second string, and then the first string open again. And each one of those is played on the beat. They are crotchets, so we're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole first section will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and... An important thing to notice in this is the dynamics, as I mentioned earlier. So you'll see in the first bar in the music where there is a P, that means piano, so that's soft. So we're going to be playing this nice and gently to start with. And we're now on the next part, which starts on bar 9 and continues basically until the next page on bar 17. So we're going to play the C chord, but again, I'm not going to play a full C chord. I'm just going to put my finger just there on the 4th string on the 2nd fret, that E note. I'm going to play that 4th string and the 3rd string underneath it. And again, we're playing crotchets, so we're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're on a G, so I can just lift that off and play the same count again on the same strings, those middle 2 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then an A minor. So for this one, we're just going to put those 2 fingers on the 2nd fret, again on the same 2 strings, the 3rd and the 4th strings, and play the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need an F chord. So for the F chord, what I'm going to do this time is use my 3rd finger and just place it on the F note there, which is on the 4th string on the 3rd fret. Okay? And again, play the same strings to the same rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're on to bar 13, where it just repeats the beginning part again. So if we just play that from the beginning, we're going to have this for the C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the G. 1, 2, 3, 4 the A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the F. 1, 2, 3, 4 bar 13 C. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where we get the change and we get a nice melody line again. So from the A minor, we're going to play the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, then the open 2nd string, then the 1st fret on that 2nd string, and then the 3rd fret. And they're minim beats. So what does that mean? What is a minim beat? Okay, so a minim just means we're counting or we're playing every 2 beats. A minim is worth 2 beats, okay? Right, so that means that melody line is going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you notice, we're playing on 1 and 3 on the beats. Okay? Alright, let's play that whole thing through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 the G. 1, 2, 3, 4 the A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4 the F. 1, 2, 3, 4 the C. 1, 2, 3, 4 the G. 1, 2, 3, 4 the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're on to the 2nd page already. Wow, it's going quick. Now we're on to the 2nd page, page 17 in the book. And right at the top of there, straight away we see that we need an F major 7. So an F major 7, don't be scared by these big chord names, okay? So an F major 7 just means we're playing an F chord, but instead of this F here on the 1st string on that 1st fret, we're playing an E, which just means playing it open, because E is the 7th note in the F major scale. That's all it refers to, so that's why the number 7 is on that chord name, F major 7. The 7th note is added to the chord. Alright, so we're playing the 1st string open, 2nd string 1st fret, 3rd string 2nd fret, 4th string 3rd fret, and we get this sound. Now this section is all arpeggios, all the chords are arpeggiated, which just means instead of strumming, we're picking the strings individually, so we're getting this instead. Alright, now the timing on this is in quavers, so we're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we're playing on the 1, the and, the 2 and the and. Right, so we've got the F major 7, and then a G, and then an E minor, and then an A minor. And you might notice that what we're doing is just picking the 4 strings here each time. So the 4th string, the 3rd, the 2nd and the 1st. Remember, when we're doing guitar strings, we always count from the bottom, don't we? So that's string number 1. Always confuses people. So 4, 3, 2, 1 on each of these chord changes. Now feel free to use the entire chord. It is a good practice to make sure you're using the whole chord every time. So the F, major 7, the G, the E minor, and the A minor. But, you know, you can, if you want to, use the easier versions of the G, for example, and the E minor, because we're only playing 4 strings and we're not playing these top 2 strings, so we don't really need to worry about fingering those. But it's good practice to use those full chords. Alright, so we're going to play through this together. Alright, we've got 2 lines from bar 17 up to bar 25, 8 bars, and all we're doing is repeating that top line twice. So it goes F major 7, G, E minor, A minor, and repeats F major 7, G, E minor, A minor. Alright, here we go. So we're playing on the 1 and 2 and of the bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and next line 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there we go. That's that arpeggiated section. I think it sounds lovely. It's a really nice chord progression, isn't it? Now, as we mentioned earlier, dynamics are really important in this piece because we're starting quiet and we need to be gradually increasing all the way through and finishing loud, okay? So on these arpeggiated chords, where we're picking through, this is now moderately quiet, MP, mezzo piano, okay? So we need to be slightly louder than we were on the first page. Right, we're then going to go on to the next part, which is a strumming pattern, which is quite interesting. The chords are exactly the same though, F major 7, G, E minor, A minor. Alright, the next section is some strumming. Now we haven't really done any strumming at all in this song yet. So what we're going to be doing here is using our right hand to help us with the count. This is quite important because we're going to be strumming down on the numbers and up on the ands. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is important because in the strumming here the pattern is we're going to hit on the 1 and then the and of the 2. So we're going to have a downstroke, but then we're going to have an upstroke as well we need to hit on. Okay. For the first strike we're going to be hitting 4 strings, and then on the way back up we're just going to catch 3. Okay, so do your best to be accurate with that as well. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be strumming on the 1 and the and of 2. That will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice I keep my arm moving all the time, counting the numbers on the way down and the ands on the way up. Okay? Right, same chord progression as before, starting on bar 25, finishing on bar 32 really. So we're just doing the same thing as earlier with our left hand with the chords. Same chords, right? So F major 7, G, E minor, A minor, twice. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and we repeat. So F major 7, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and Alright, your turn. Remember, just rewind the video, try and play along. Keep that count nice and steady. Make sure you're strumming down on the numbers, up on the ands, and just keep that rhythm going nice and consistently, okay? And that brings us to the last line on the whole piece, which again is strumming, so strumming pattern 2. Same chord sequence again, F, G, E minor, A minor, finishing on an F. Right, now, with this one, we only want to be playing 3 strings each time, and we're playing the 4th, 3rd and 2nd. So again, accuracy with the right hand's really important here. This strumming pattern's easy though, because all we're doing is playing on the beat each time. So we're just going 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and okay, so on the beat, on the number each time. As I said, same chord progression, so the left hand is doing the same job again. Now the tricky thing here is that we're now playing forte, so we need to bring those dynamics up again, so we need to be hitting harder, but we need to be hitting consistently, because we don't want things like this. What we need to do is just make sure we're keeping a light action on that pick and not digging in too deeply on the strings. And it needs to be, like I said, consistent, the same all the way through if we can manage that, okay? So, 4 strums on each chord on the beat. So here we go, F, G, E minor, A minor. We again repeat that before finishing on the F chord, okay? So it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay? And you play that twice. Now, the sharp-eyed of you will have noticed in the book, and those of sharp ear will have noticed when I played, that the A minor chord, the last one, does sound slightly different on the last 2 hits. Now the reason for that is we're playing the A minor as usual, 1, 2, but then on 3 and 4 beats we're lifting that first finger off, okay? So we're playing that A minor without the first finger, and that second string is open. That actually makes it, if you're interested, an A suspended 2 chord, alright? That's not written in the book, so don't worry about it. See if you can spot it this time, and make sure when you're playing along, you remember to take that first finger off on that A minor chord for beats 3 and 4. So we'll play through the whole section this time, repeating that line, okay? And then finishing on F. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay? And that is the end of the entire piece. So if you've made it this far and you're playing all those sections, really well done. That's a fantastic job. Now what we need to be able to do is start gluing all those sections together, okay? So practice them lots and lots, and then practice playing section A with section B. And then once that's sorted out, section A, section B, section C, just start gluing them all together, okay? Pay really close attention to dynamics. So once you're happy you can play the piece, start then thinking about playing the first section soft and bringing those dynamics up, 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 up until we finish on forte, which is nice and strong at the end, okay? Right, that's it. Thank you for joining me. It's Gotham Music Schools doing a Titanium from the Rockschool Acoustic Grade 1 book. Remember to check out the rest of the series as well. Lots of other songs, lots of other goodies, technical exercises and so on available. Alright, take care. See you soon.